D, wait for it, Lightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and have I got a story for you. Now, also down below, you'll find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read it for yourself or go reference it or whatnot, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to read it to you, pretty much. Also, before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. In saying that, why don't we go ahead and get started? I came across this article from The Direct. I usually go here and read this stuff, and it says, Marvel reportedly changing MCU script strategy following Phase 4 struggles. And that says to me that Phase 5, the writers are kaput. They're gone. You're fired. You're fired. And the reason for that is Phase 4 sucked. I'm sorry, you can defend it all you want to me, but I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. It was trash, pure garbage. And you know, I mean, it had a couple of standouts, but so I was just like, you know, I personally just did not like it. So, but yeah, so let's read this article real quick, and we'll just see, you know, whatever. So okay, so it says Marvel Studio is reportedly making some major changes to its script strategy after Phase 4 and Phase 5's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania received criticism. Yeah, that movie sucked balls. It says within roughly the last month, the studio brought on board 3 new writers to rewrite upcoming. Within roughly the last month, the studio brought on board 3 new writers to rewrite upcoming 2024 and 2025 movies that have not yet begun production, indicating major shifts taking place at the MCU studios. Yeah, they've hired all these. So before, they hired all these Rick and Morty writers to write these shows. And listen, don't get me wrong, I love Rick and Morty, but it's very obvious that these writers do not understand a 3-act structure, and they just write these crappy movies, and then they have to go in and rewrite them and reshoot and everything, and they're still crappy because it's like, once it's shit, you can't fix shit. You can throw glitter on it all you want, but it's just shit, and it's going to be bad no matter what. So I think that the Marvel is realizing that they need to do a complete course correct. So it says True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto took over Blade from Michael Starbury. Good. I did like True Detective season 1 and season 3. Season 2 was a little convoluted. I didn't understand the story plot of that one. I was just like, okay. I was like, nothing for me, you know. But Avatar: The Way of Water scribe Josh Freeman was brought on to Fantastic Four in place of Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer, and Netflix's Beef originator Lee Sung-jin replaced Eric Pearson on Thunderbolts, making his feature film debut. And see, I think this is good to change up these people and these writers, because it's obvious. Listen, if it doesn't work, you got to fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Marvel is broken. The MCU is broken. And it's all because of the writing. You know, I mean, actors can own, and that's why there's a strike right now. Actors can only do so much. They get given the lines that these writers give them, and they just have to, you know, do them. I mean, writers, I mean, like, and you have to look at the writing on Quantum of Solace. It was crap because Daniel Craig and the director of that movie had to write this, you know, they had to rewrite the script on the spot, on the set. And it's obvious that actors aren't writers, you know, unless they are. Like Jon Favreau's a decent writer, and he's also, you know, he's a pretty good actor. Okay, so during the last edition of the Hot Mic podcast above, the lines Jeff Snyder, I do watch that. I do like that Jeff Snyder guy, discussed the major changes Marvel Studios is making behind the scenes when it comes to the development and script process for MCU movies. And we'll read his quote in a minute. So it says, the majority of Marvel's newly hired writers are all coming off acclaimed projects, which Snyder pointed out by saying they are spending a lot of money on writers, which is good. I know Marvel doesn't have, like, Disney overall is there. They're trying to cut back on spending, but listen, if you want quality, you have to spend the money. Do you remember back in the day? And I'm sorry, I'm going off on another little tangent here, but remember back in the day when the Wii came out, that gaming system, the Wii, and there was that commercial where it had like the fat girl and then the really hot fit girl and everything. And it was like the fat girl was the PS, what was it, 3 that came out at the time, or 4? I can't remember. Don't quote me, please. I can't remember. It's so long ago. There was a commercial where the fat girl was all like, I'm the PS4. And the one girl was all like, I'm the Wii. Aren't I? Don't I look like fun? And you got to be like interactive. When you being all sexual, she's like, and you got to be all interactive with me and everything, and all rubbing her titties and shit. And she's all like, and I vibrate, and she's like smacking her ass and stuff or whatever. I'm making most of this up, but she was being very sexual with her thing. And then the fat girl was all like, yeah, but I cost more, which means you get, and the hot girl was like, I don't cost as much. And then the fat girl was all like, yeah, but I am quality because you're spending the money on me and everything. And I was like, it's true. Like, look where the Wii is now. I mean, when was the last time you played a Wii? Okay. And who owns a Wii system still? I do. Okay, so here's his quote. If you have been paying attention in the last few weeks or months, you would notice that Marvel has been spending a lot more money on writers. Just today, we saw the news that Nick Pizzolatto, they brought in as the new writer on Blade, just like Josh Freeman, the expensive Sarah Connor Chronicles writer. He's a big name writer in this town. They got him for Fantastic Four. Lee Sung-jin, the Beef creator, they just hired for Thunderbolts. Analyzing the discussion, Snyder suggested they are not going out to the newbie writers anymore and are instead targeting some heavy hitters. So pay attention, guys. They are not going out to the newbie writers anymore. They are going out to some heavy hitters for writers. That's the Marvel secret that no one has talked about yet. They are now paying for writers, which is good. I say good. Those new writers, like, what was her face? Jessica Gao that wrote She-Hulk. She-Hulk was terrible. Jesus. I covered that show. You guys can check it out if you want to, but it was terrible, and the writing was the worst part. It just sucked. The news comes on Snyder previously suggesting a similar shift on the directorial front, with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige now eager to hire more established talent behind the camera. Why Marvel Studios is replacing movie writers. Marvel Studios appears to be taking major steps to course correct from recent failures after the backlash to much of Phase 4 and abysmal reactions to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And Ant-Man 3 was terrible. It was just bad. I mean, it was just bad. At least, fortunately, the old, reliable James Gunn appears to have delivered a hit with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I saw Volume 3. My review will go up tomorrow for that if you're watching this. But that movie was fantastic. I'm just going to say that. It was so, oh my God. I laughed at times. I teared up at times. The movie was just phenomenal. So good. Okay. Well, Guardians 3 came from the highly experienced Gunn and acquired massive acclaim. Ant-Man 3 came off Jeff Loveness, whose only major prior credits was on Rick and Morty, and was panned. Yeah, Rick and Morty. Like I said before, it's very obvious that Mr. Loveness, that's so funny that's his name, doesn't understand the 3-act structure. He understands episodic stuff, like he can write an episode, but he can't write a 3-act structured movie. The difference in reactions to the MCU's 2 latest movies may signal Marvel Studios' exact problem on the writing front. I'm going to read this. Let me go down to here. Could fire. Let me read this because sorry, I didn't realize this was such a long article. No, let me finish this. I'm going to finish. The multiverse saga has been all about risk, expanding to television, introducing new characters, starting new franchises, and bringing in fresh talent. But perhaps Marvel Studios has taken a few too many risks on that final front. And the quality of its output has undeniably suffered for it, if I could read correctly. 3 writer replacements in 30 days clearly point toward a shift in overall script strategy at Marvel Studios. And all of these change-ups undeniably represent an uptick in experience and acclaim, one can only hope these will work out well in the long run and ultimately result in better received movies to come. Perhaps what's most important to see here is Marvel Studios' awareness of what and isn't working about its current development strategy. A major question coming from this is whether Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron could see themselves replaced as the writers of the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, respectively. I hope they are. It's very obvious that they can't write this, like I said before, they can't write the 3-act structure. So if they can't write that, then I'm sorry, you don't understand how script writing works. And listen, I'm not trying to sit here and act like I could write a script. I mean, I when I was in school, and I did take some film classes where you did have to write a script for a, like I had one where you had to write a script for a 10-minute short, and stuff like that. I could do that, but like writing a movie is hard, and I understand that. But when you put out crap, you get criticized for crap. And I'm sorry, like if these people can't realize the problem in their movie, then it's just, and that's from top down. If Kevin Feige should have been on top of this, and it's very obvious that he is failing and he's trying to course correct. All right, the backlash of Quantum Mania could find Marvel Studios searching for someone else to pen Avengers 5, especially if Loveness' first draft isn't up to scratch. Although Waldron ought to be safer on Secret Wars given the success of Loki and how Doctor 2 wasn't anywhere near Ant-Man 3 levels of hated. Yeah, but Doctor Strange 2 was not good. I'm sorry, it was not good. And Loki, I'm sorry, I hated Loki. Loki was trash. If you like Loki, by all means have at it. I will cover season 2 because... yeah, but Loki season 1 was garbage. I mean, it was just walking, and then one episode where they were running when that planet exploded. It was garbage, pure garbage. But if either were to be replaced, whose door could Kevin Feige find himself knocking on to take over writing duties for his Avengers blockbuster? Well, if only Loveness or Waldron were to be replaced, the obvious solution would be to have the other tag in, or if both somehow got the boot, Infinity War and Endgame writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely would be a safer and reliable choice to deliver another batch of Avengers hits. So yeah, I think that if this is true, I think this is good. And I don't want anybody to lose their job, but I don't feel bad for you. If you're writing crappy movies, then you deserve to get got. And I say, listen, good luck to you, but you did this to yourself. You messed up. So you need to do some self-reflection and fix your problem, and Marvel, I'm sorry, for me, Marvel's already broken, and I can't either. If they don't fix it, like I'm talking ASAP, Rocky. I don't think that that I'm going to be, I mean, I'll watch the movies, but, although Guardians was so good, you guys. All right. That's all I got for that. We're just going to end that there. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? How do you guys feel about them changing up the writers for phase 5, after or during phase 5 of the MCU? I mean, are you good with this? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Do you think that Marvel is doing a course correct because they realize that so far this has not been good for them, and they need to course correct because these Rick and Morty writers obviously don't know how to write a 3-act structured movie? Or do you think I'm completely wrong and these movies have just been fantastic and I don't know what I'm talking about? You tell me, because I mean, I just don't. I mean, phase 5 was just a complete dumpster fire. But all right, you guys, that's all I got for you this week. Tell me what you guys think by leaving all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. You guys have a good week. Bye.